Donkey. Donkey. Donkey!
Sure, primitive plan yet.
This is a pen.
Repeatedly punching me in the face.
But this is Nintendo DS action.
Hi, my name is Gabe Newell and I work at Valve.
Hello. This is where the fun begins.
Hello.
Get over here!
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
Ah, someone wants to play.
Hey gamers, how's it going? Happy Sunday, good to see you. It's America's #1 online video game personality, Ben, the Parvinator Parvin. Welcome guys, good to see you, happy Sunday. Hope you've had a good weekend.
Hey guy, you're the first serious gamer I've seen all morning.
Some of the first serious gamers I've seen all morning, all day, all afternoon. Guess for some of you it's late evening time too. Well, good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. Also, happy whatever day it is to those of you watching this in the future. All right, guys, we're going to get into some Pokemon Crystal, back into Crystal 251. I mean, at this point, you probably know the drill. I wouldn't have expected anybody to have seen all, what are we up to now? 23 episodes or something? Yeah, I would expect anybody to have seen it all, but I've been here for it. It's been a fun series, and we are getting towards the end. We've got a few more badges to get, and then we're gonna try to beat Red. So we're gonna keep on working on this thing. We're not giving up just yet. I've got a cat scratching at the door right on time. Just as soon as I start a stream, she's gonna be a problem. Perfect timing, Tigress. I'm gonna try to ignore her for a little bit and see what that gets us. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I'm a terrible show host. I've got a great show coming up for you guys. So it sounds like I don't know, doing a nighttime talk show. Got a great show. I need to be standing up for the monologue, you know. Hey, welcome Parvination. How you doing, guys? Got a great show coming up for you. Honestly, that's kind of the X-Play style too, which, you know, stand on the shoulders of video game media giants of the past. But they would all tell me that I need to tell you guys what we're getting into today and stop with the meta. And yeah, so today we're going to be doing some game anniversaries. If you guys are, if there's any Final Fantasy or Rockman heads out there, you guys are going to be feasting today. We got a lot of good stuff for you. A lot of those games came out on this day, December 17th. Also, going to get some gamer news. I think maybe one of the bigger topics is like you know, the rise of crafting, and I've got a story that kind of illustrates that. You know, crafting, creativity, whether that's through you know, crafting items, or worlds, maps, levels in Mario. We're going to talk about how it just seems like there is more and more crafting these days. Not all crafting is the same, but we're just going to kind of talk about that, and there's a story that'll sort of tie that all together for us. Related to Zelda, so it should be a fun show, fun stream. But before we get into the news and anniversaries, let's play some Pokemon. Let's do that for a bit. My God, my hair is like itching my face. They're going nuts. Felt a little like torture during that last on the intro page there, man. I was just scratching my nose. All right, it is 4:23 on Sunday. It's getting started later and later. That's okay. I'm kind of accepting that things are just not going to really be any sort of normal for me until, you know, like after the new year, because we're traveling for Christmas, you know, I've also just been very busy. I haven't really had a time. I tried to finish editing the Game Awards video, and unfortunately I didn't get that done. I did make some pretty good strides on it. I think one more little sit down with it and I'm done. I'm really getting to the nitty gritty at this point. But I'm gonna see if I can put that out hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday at the latest, and then be done with that. And then it just feels like a lot of other work is piling up too. I've got to download these old streams, and I need to, in addition to that, I need to, you know, go back and highlight some stuff, and there's a whole bunch of work to be done. Look at this. Mr. Mime walking around in the tall grass.
Yo, gabba gabba!
Let's see if we can get a Mr. Mime. Hey, Mr. Mime, Mr. Mime, Mr. Mime.
Hey, hey.
Yeah, it should be a fun stream today. Thank you guys for hanging out. Let's see. Let's get you hypnotized. Come on. Yeah, I've got kind of 2 videos in the pipeline right now that I've started on but I haven't finished. And yeah, one is one of the clips I did here on Twitch, which was just talking about the rich tapestry of intellectual property that is Smash Brothers, and just what a beautiful thing it is that all these franchises could come together, and how, you know, I don't know, I've always loved that aspect of those games, and I don't know, it's always done a lot for me. I'm afraid that I would kill this Mr. Mime or make it faint if we fly, because it's only like level 30 something. What is a Mr. Mime? Isn't it like a psychic type? It's not a normal, is it? Don't die, please. Alright, woke up. Don't kill it. Yikes. Oh, perfect, honestly. Guess not so much a yikes as it is a awesome. Well, yeah, let's get you under the spell of hypnosis, and then let's catch you. But yeah, I got that video, and then the Game Awards video. And you know, I don't know. It's just I've just been a little bit off the last several mornings, just kind of getting slow to get going. I do get a lot of work done, and I end up working a long. I meant to catch it. Please miss. It's not gonna miss. Got distracted. Damn it. All right, let's walk around in the grass a little bit more. See if we can find that Mr. Mime. Silly me. Screwed the pooch on that one.
Hey, guy, you're the first serious gamer I've seen all morning.
Sorry, pooch. Been a good weekend for me. Went to a concert last night. That was cool. My cat is hunting right outside the door. Ow, again. I might have to let this girl in. I don't know. We'll see. She's feeling very lonely right now because this is usually around the time she likes to hang out, and my partner took off to go to the grocery store to grab a couple things to get us through next few days, and so our cat is just all by her lonesome. No one here to keep her company. Let's run around a few more times and see if we can find that Mr. Mime. It's really hard to finish a sentence when I'm hearing this cat. I don't think you guys can hear it, but yeah, it's it's over and over again. She's got these little toy mice, and then a couple of like little toy, like little stuffed sloth things, you know, only about this big, and yeah, a couple of them are shaped, you know, they're modeled after a sloth or something, a little cartoon-esque sloth, and those are her favorites. And we have this basket full of the toys and things, and she will dig into that basket until she finds what she's looking for. I've even seen her pull out the other things to try to get down, you know, underneath. Mr. Mime, I think, is a pretty rare catch. We haven't seen him again. Sadly.
Get over here!
You hear that, Mr. Mime? By the way, guys, let me know if the audio is screwed up again. You know, let me know if any changes need to be made, if the sound effects are too, you know, I like them being louder, maybe even just a little bit louder than the game, but, you know, I want kind of a mix of things. I want my voice and the sound effects to be heard over the game for sure, but I don't want the game to totally disappear. Know what I'm saying?
What's going on, man?
Man, I can't believe I didn't catch that Mr. Mime. Missed opportunity. That's right, we used like 20 Ultra Balls on something earlier. The last time we played, used a bunch of Ultra Balls for something we didn't even necessarily need to catch. Same story here with Mr. Mime. We don't need to catch this guy, but we're gonna see what we could do. Give me a Mr. Mime on the line. If I could turn back Mime, I could not let you faint.
We can't wait to show you what's on the way.
All right, let's do 5 more fights. I don't want to spend forever looking for a Pokemon that we're not going to really, you know, use in our journey. I'm willing to do that for some of the like story Pokemon or the legendaries or whatever, but legendaries, the mythicals. Sounds like I need to turn the game up just a bit, possibly. Better run away for now. Yeah, I went to a concert last night. That was pretty fun. Went to see a Grateful Dead cover band. That's they're all really talented. All of them are like in their own bands where they do original music and stuff. It seems. I mean, I don't know every member, but I do know a few of them are just kind of, they're just in several different bands, you know, and yeah, one of the ones that they do with limited touring is to be in a Grateful Dead cover band. They're called Grateful Shred, and they have a really good video of them playing. They went up to one of the when Dead and Company played in Los Angeles, and they played at the Hollywood Bowl. Those guys went up there and they filmed a video of them like setting up in the, because everybody like tailgates at Dead shows, and you know, they set up and lots of people are, you know, they'll sell like their own merchandise that they've made and stuff, and so it's all like a big, it's usually there's like basically a big pregame party before and after, usually in the parking lots, but yeah, so this cover band got some notoriety because they did a video of them setting up and performing in the parking lot before a Dead and Company show, and they just started to get a really big crowd around them, and they're all really talented. Some of the members of the band have changed since that video, but that's how I found them, and that was like, I had heard the Grateful Dead when I was younger, and I'd had friends try to turn me on to them, and you know, I'd borrow CDs and stuff, and I liked what I heard okay, but hey, welcome Ichigo. I like what I heard okay, but you know, and some of it clicked, but it didn't all click for me until later. I think, honestly, hearing this group do one of the a couple of the songs that are from the Dead, I think it sort of helped me just kind of get into them, you know. So it was a fun show last night. Yeah, going to see this band. And tired though. We didn't get out until it was right at about midnight is when we got out. So, and didn't sleep great Friday. I woke up really early on Friday morning. So kind of starting to drag a bit, man. It's hitting. How you doing, Ichigo? Welcome, man. Happy Sunday. Dude. I don't know if we can fly into... I didn't expect them to do that, the fly to do that little damage, but I don't know if we could do it again. So let's see if we can catch this guy. Oh, sorry, Mr. Mime, you know... Oh, Mr. Mime, and then this one is a female Mr. Mime. So... You know, yeah, things are complex in the real world and in the Pokemon world too. Yeah, I'm good, man. Good. Just a little tired. You know, got out late from a concert last night, but I'm good. It's been a good weekend, and yeah, I'm trying to finish editing some videos for this channel, but it also takes a lot of time to set up for the stream. You know, so yeah, I'm kind of feeling a little pressed, you know, work-wise, but if, you know, we'll just see how this week goes. Honestly, I had to step back for a second, and I had the realization of like, okay, you know, I'm gonna be going back home for Christmas, first time in a very long time, and I'm busier than ever at this point, and learning to do new things, you know, so it's like the learning process is taking a long time, and I'm really slow at certain things that I'm getting better at each time, doing a little bit better, doing some things faster. But I kind of just had that realization, like, dude, you need to not kick yourself so much about this feeling of like falling behind right now. Like things are just having other things to do outside of your work, because we're gonna be traveling soon. We're gonna be away for a bit. Like nothing is gonna be anything close to normal until a little after New Year's, probably, you know. So it's like, just chill, or try to roll with the punches, you know, just trying to remind myself of that. And Because it just felt like a lot of days I would work a bunch, but I would be late to get that work started. But it would still be 8-9 hours, you know, of stuff. It just, I don't know, I found myself kind of like, damn, I wish I could get in the zone sooner, get going quicker, and it's like, I can, but also things are different, you know, it's just a hectic time, so a little bit of forgiveness, I think, is in order, you know, a little bit of chill. Back in Pallet Town. Yeah, I gotta say, I don't really dig this Gen 2 version of the Pallet Town song. This is one of the few... And this part's cool, you know, they've added more to it. But I don't like that main... I think I prefer the Gen 1 over what they've done with it here. Blue's house. Can we sleep? Can we heal our Pokemon by talking to Red's mom? Nope. I guess she only heals her own kids' Pokemon. I guess that makes sense. All right. I think we were. I think what we were gonna do was actually try to fly. And I think I realized we needed to go north. Viridian, and north of that. Viridian City's gym is where Blue is going to be, you know, our rival from the first gym, which I think is a pretty badass lore-wise. I like that they sort of told you what Red and Blue got up to in between their journey and our hero, our protagonist here. You know, Red is the Pokemon League champion. Or over everyone, I guess, or I don't even know if he has an official title, actually, but... and then Blue is running the Viridian City Gym, which, you know, it's kind of cool. They're not from Viridian City. I guess Viridian would be the closest, like, nearby city versus town. But it's kind of interesting, that idea of Blue, you know, moving away a little bit, moving to the big city nearby. Bigger city than... what they have. Got a TM. But yeah, I like him, you know, he moves away from town, goes to the city, nearest city, runs the gym there, you know, as a young adult, I guess. Dream Eater, okay. Dream Eater. Something, something, something.
Oh, baby, baby.
It's Dream Weaver.
Let's go.
So, what are we gonna do? Where am I on the map? I'm kind of like west of Viridian. Oh, this is the connector. The connector to like the Pokemon League, I think. Spearow.
Let's go.
Let's go for a Spearow. Let's do it. I would put an item up here. A little invisible item. Maybe they already put a visible one. Yeah, I'm like, what is this part here? Pokemon League, Victory Road entrance. Oh! That's how it connects. No way. I didn't realize that. Oh, and there was a dude blocking that before. Yes, there was. Yeah, there was a guy right here. So when we came to the Pokemon League the first time, they didn't want to... They had a guy standing right where we are, blocking us from getting into Kanto. Further into Kanto. The part that actually, you know, has people in towns and badges to collect and all that. Why don't you get your, didn't we get a... We did get a Super Rod. We haven't even... tried to catch anything with the super rod. Oops. We got the best of the 3 rods. You get a old rod, a great rod, and a super rod. And alas, even with our super rod, we're catching a 40 level 40 Magikarp. So amazing. I'm actually going to register that to our select button so we can do some fishing. I have to admit, when I was a kid, I did think, is it key items? Yeah. I did think that the idea of, like that idea of being able to catch Pokemon too, via fishing, kind of blew my little kid mind as well. It was like it just felt like a good usage of, you know, the universe of Pokemon, and these Pokemon are everywhere. They're in the sky, they're on the land, they're in the water. Meant to select it, not use it. That way we can just hit the select button, and I want to register it to the select button, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Poliwag. But yeah, it all felt like such a... It's crazy how alive, and I think some of this is a child's imagination, but it also speaks to what they accomplished with the sprite work and creating these environments, and yep, there's our bike. I'm gonna do try to do a little more fishing here. Too bad we can't register 2 items. Put the bike and a fishing pole out here. Give me a nibble. The story behind Pokemon 2 is, in its creation, is just, I don't know, it's very heartwarming to me as well. With you know, that founder of Game Freak, Tajiri. Why am I not remembering his last name right now? Sorry, but yeah, basically the guy who started Game Freak, you know, he started it as a fan zine, basically. It was like he was a gamer himself, and he started it as a magazine with like tips and tricks. He really liked, I think, Space Invader maybe, but he was into other games that were coming up at the time, and he was posting a lot of, you know, like tips and tricks, and he would do some of the artwork. He had someone else help him with the artwork too, and you know, they basically just started by, it was a total DIY thing, very much like a fanzine, and they were doing that for a little bit, and some of them, it started to get kind of big, and they basically made a job out of it for a time, making these sort of you know, gamer magazine kind of periodical sort of things. Very much again, like less magazine and more zine. You know, the guys were fans, man. But gamers, you know. But yeah, he had this vision for Pokemon of a game. It was basically inspired by his time as a kid, where he spent a lot of time going into the woods. He lived in kind of a you know, sort of suburbs of Tokyo, and in a place that was building up but not fully built up yet. So you did have you know, he did have some nature around him that wasn't that hard to get to. And yeah, he grew up like catching bugs, and he would do like little displays and like catalog the bugs and learn their names, and you know, and he even at times, like some of the other kids would they were doing the same thing, and they would even have like bug fights and stuff. They'd catch bugs and battle each other, and just that sense of adventure that he had as a kid, of going to new places and sometimes being a little scared, and you know, oh, I'm gonna try to go find something new, but it's a little bit scary, and it's all, you know, it's all so new. And what is this? That's a nugget. I can't give you any nuggets of wisdom, so that'll have to do. Oh yeah, you gave me a nug already. Thanks, buddy. But yeah, he wanted to build that experience into Pokemon itself. That experience that he had as a kid of going into caves and, you know, little bodies of water to find stuff, and just going all around, you know, having time to be a kid and explore and, you know, get out there in the dirt, you know. And he, that place that he grew up has since, you know, it's really built up a bunch. Hey, Binary, welcome and happy Sunday. But yeah, that place that that he grew up, that was a suburb of Tokyo. You know, it's at this point it's really you know, well, not necessarily industrialized, but has, you know, it's really been developed. So a lot of that nature that was nearby is now gone. And he said part of his original vision for Pokemon was to try to give kids growing up in a world with less nature, less access to nature that he had, and you know, wanting them to basically be able to have, through video games, a similar experience to what he had when he was a kid, catching bugs and you know, displaying them and cataloging them and all that. No, yeah, kind of a similar story with Miyamoto, right? But no, I was talking about, I can't remember his last name, but the guy that founded Game Freak, I think his first name is Tajiri. It just, I didn't want to look up his name because I'll lose some, but you know, the frame rate always drops when I do that because my computer sucks. But yeah, the guy behind, yeah, the guy behind Game Freak. But yeah, it's a similar story with Miyamoto too, with him having been a young boy, and yeah, he's talked about Miyamoto's talked about walking around in a cave, taking a lantern into a cave and exploring, and you know, that those adventures being a you know, what's the term? Why can't I can't think of the term? Vocabulary is escaping me. But yeah, it was a why can't I think of this? But yeah, basically it was a pivotal point in his life, and you know, what he wanted to do as a game maker, you know, was kind of capture that feeling of experience. Yeah, it's really cool, you know. And then you think about how I've talked to you guys about how, like, I think I would go outdoors, but I wasn't that big of an adventurous kid. I really did want to go inside and play games. And honestly, it was games like Zelda that kind of made me, I'd play the game and I'd enjoy it, and then I realized, like, oh wow, I can go out and have my own Zelda adventure, you know. And so it was stuff like that it's just funny, you know, like Shigeru Miyamoto is trying to share his direct experience of being a kid and going outside and exploring caves and stuff, and then I wasn't the most outdoorsy kid, but then that stuff inspired me to get out and go outside. You know, kind of funny how that how that works, you know. But yeah, I thought that was cool. The guy from Game Freak had the, you know, shoot, I should just go look his name up. I don't want to keep saying the guy from Game Freak. Bear with me, I know the stream might get kind of bad for a second, but oh yeah, oh actually, yeah, Satoshi Tajiri is his name. Interesting, yeah. So, Satoshi Tajiri. Yeah, born August 28th, 1965, a Japanese video game developer or designer and director, best known for being the creator of the Pokemon franchise and one of the founders and president of video game developer Game Freak. Which I talked about how cool that story of Game Freak was, with, you know, with it starting as basically just like a video game fanzine, essentially. Yeah. Well, thank you, Binary. Sorry. Thank you for trying to fetch that for me, or even just putting in the chat. I don't know if you had to go fetch it or if you just pulled it out of your brain, but either way, thank you. Sorry, I didn't see that. We'll go to Pewter Gym and we're gonna take on Brock. You know, Brock, the rock Pokemon. Yeah, I couldn't remember it either, Binary. I had the one name in my head, but not his full name. I also thought Tajiri was his first name, but I think that's actually his family name. So there's our gym. There's really not a whole lot in this town. Pewter. Lots of wide open spaces. Room to make a big mistake. There's a notice here. Pewter Museum of Science is closed for renovations. That's right. So this is the town where they take you for a little tour in the in red and blue. I need to go see what's in our box at some point, or in on like our character's PC here, Benji's PC, because we have a bunch of items I've just kind of stashed for a long time, you know. Yeah, right, Binary. Yeah, yeah, it's funny that I was remembering it and had everything mixed up, and then when I went and I looked at it, you know, the Wikipedia page comes up, and at first it says, of course, in the way that we say our names, with given name, then family name, you know, and then you know, it says in like parentheses in Japanese, you know, and then it had the kanji for it, and then it had of course the reverse order with surname first. Yeah. There's a few. Yeah, there's a few. I think, you know, I think that there's a few cultures that do that with, you know, your family name, your surname first. You know, I just remember being younger and like, you know, meeting friends with. You know, I remember meeting. And making friends with this kid in middle school, and I remember like one time we saw something with names, and he had his you know, his parents had moved from Mexico, and you know, he had you know, multiple, you know, he had his first name that we all knew him by, and then I remember just like he had, of course, you know, a couple of last names, and then I remember just being like, wait, you're only supposed to, you know, kind of thinking in my head, like, you're supposed to have a first, a middle, and a last name, you know, and that's the rules. And I never said that, but all that is to say, like, that was a learning experience for me that, like, no, that's just something that some people do, you know, that's not, there's no hard rule on how many names a person can have. I mean, maybe you can only put so much on a birth certificate to limit it, but yeah, there's no, you know, but yeah, I remember just kind of being like, well, which one's your last name though? And he's like, oh, I mean, you can use either one if he's like, if you had to call me one, I guess you can use either one, you know? Yeah. Jigglypuff poster and a Jigglypuff doll. I asked everyone for Jigglypuff stuff for my last birthday, and I got some doubles. So I don't mind sharing with you. I think someone was looking for a Jigglypuff. doll. Everyone in here just did an exclamation mark whenever that happened, so everyone else is excited. But yeah, that was a learning experience for me, and I remember my buddy kind of being like, like, what, you don't have multiple last names? Like it was a good little cultural exchange. I learned something, he learned something. Yeah, right, yeah. It can go a really long way. Some names can be super long. Haunter. Yes, I would trade you a Haunter for a Kabuto. I would do that. Let me, please allow me to go to the PC here. My good sir. I think this must be part of the Pokemon Crystal 251 patch, I think. Because he's, normally you'd have to get, I think you would have to get Kabuto from the, Fossil in Gen 1 and then bring that over to Gen 2. Yeah, right, Binary, yeah. Yeah, so many things are just determined by culture, and there's not right or wrong things there usually. It's just what you've grown up with is what you've known, and that's what you're used to, and that sounds right to you. But it's not like there's, I mean, the name thing is just one example, but so many other things can just be a kind of a product of culture. He wanted a Haunter, right? I think I have one in an earlier box. Right, exactly, Binary, yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. To kind of just expand on the topic a little bit, I just think there's a lot of people who don't realize that your way or what you believe is not, it's not for everybody, and there's going to be a whole lot of other things. You know what I mean? Like it's a really big world out there. It would kind of suck if we all were exactly the same, and I like that. I think that diversity is, spice of life, but yeah, I just think so many things there's things that there's positions that people hold really strongly, and sometimes they're not able to realize that may be a product of the culture that they grew up in, but they're viewing things like as right or wrong, when it's more complicated than that. It just is often, and it's a big world out there, and there's lots of people in it who have different ideas and different different perspectives on things, and as weird as my perspective might sound to them, theirs might sound that way to me, like that's just, Yeah, right, Binary, yeah. I think it's I think of someone like my dad, who, he grew up in a really, he grew up in like a pretty, he grew up basically kind of farmland, North Alabama, pretty country situation. When he's a kid, some of the big colleges are starting to they're starting to finally integrate. They're finally accepting black students, things like that. He's growing up in this turbulent time, and I think that for him, though, I think joining the army and then just being stationed around the U.S. and then in parts of the globe, and just meeting a lot of different people who all come from different walks of life, even just amongst the soldiers that he was with, let alone everybody else. And he just said he kind of learned that, like, I realized that my way is only one way. You know, like, it's not the way, you know, and that there's a lot of people in this world, and not everything is for everyone. I don't have to get everything about everyone, but that doesn't mean I don't have to understand it or even like it for it to still be fine, to, you know what I mean? For it to still have a place and for it to be around, you know? And I think that's just it's a pretty healthy way of looking at things, you know? Kabuto! That's a good looking sprite. Trade our Haunter for a Kabuto, sweet. Yeah, binary, exactly, which is why it's really strange that there has been a lot of, like, there are some people who talk about, and like with Tommy Tuberville, Senator Tuberville, to me he'll always be the Auburn coach, which I don't like Auburn. And I love you, sis. I know you went there, but someday we'll forgive you. But yeah, no, yeah, I think that's what's strange to me is that people like, there's some people out there who say that, like, the military spends too much time and effort on trying to diversify and also doing things like telling people, like, hey, you can't, you know, hey, maybe don't, like, you know, I don't know. Basically, you know, there are groups out there, like, you know, not every unit is that cohesive, and some of them do get split up and split amongst lines of culture, ethnicity, what have you. And so, of course, there's programs in place to try to have soldiers be together and have them, you know, have a cohesive unit that is still diverse, because there is often strength in diversity. You know, usually that's a great thing, you know. And doing things to make sure that there is that cohesiveness, and that you do have what Binary said in that last comment, I think is important, because you know, it's a big tent, you know, a lot of different types of people in the military. It's not just one type, and they all have to work together. Find that common ground and find ways to work together and respect each other, you know. And often that happens, you know. But yeah. So it's just strange that some people think that we need to stamp that out, or that that's a bad thing, you know, because you know, I think that representation is really important, and I do think that getting I do think that a strength comes from a diverse group that works together, you know, learns to work together and has different strengths and different perspectives on things. And all right, I guess we're ready to well, we might not be ready, but let's see if we're close to being ready to fight Brock. We might not have anybody that really wants to, that's worth, using here. I don't know, we'll have to see. He's a rock guy, right? Mr. Rocco. RTY would be good, of course. Knocked out, not so much. Cheese sandwich, not so much. Oh, let's go get that bay leaf out of here. Oh, just a little programming note. A little bit later, we've got some fun segments coming up for you guys. We're gonna do There were a ton of great games that came out today, and I even, you know, I don't always pick them all. Sometimes I'll just pick a couple out of a list that's good. But today was one of the better lists. I think I've only seen a better, longer list of like great games. Only maybe one time before. So yeah, it's a bunch of stuff coming up that'll be fun, especially if you're into Rockman and Final Fantasy, or either of those. So yeah, that's coming soon. Yeah, you know what? It's funny, Ichigo, because when I wrote that, I realized, like, okay, the intersection of Final Fantasy and Rockman. Oh, well, that's Ichigo for sure. I think Binary can hang there too. You know, I think had a little experience there. I don't know so much about your experience with Final Fantasy Binary, but I know with Dragon Quest you got a lot of experience, and I know you own some FFs. We're going to talk about one of the ones you showed recently. So yeah, Ichigo. I when I wrote that out, I was like, yeah, that's this one's tailor-made for. Dave's gonna like this one. Yeah. All right, Peter, let's pull this out. Yeah, right. Well, you see what it is like it sends out I've contracted with an advertising firm to send out the a personalized message for, you know, that will best fit the interests of each and every one of you. So you've all been getting personalized previews. So if you saw the go live notification and it didn't really do anything for you, or you're like, I could probably miss that. I don't know. There must have been some wires crossed somewhere. Let me know, because I got to talk to those guys and let them know you wasn't quite up to snuff. All right, let's go take out Brock. Let's go knock him out. Rock'em sock'em, Brock'em. Yeah, I knew you. That's great, Binary. Yeah, I knew you had some FF. I just wasn't. I think we've talked so much more about DQ, but yeah, I knew that you even posted about FF2, the Japanese FF2. I think you posted that, you know, a few months back or something. Maybe that was one of the kind of recent FFs that you bought, or maybe you were just posting it. But yeah. Yeah. I like the box art for the first the NES Final Fantasy. I think it looks cool. Gym leaders of Kanto. They're strong and dedicated people, just like Johto's gym leaders. Okay, well, let's save. All right, we're going up into Pewter City. I don't know that well, I'll just say I don't remember the original FF Japanese box art. I should look that up sometime. What's going on here? Why we got leakage? Why is my drink leaking? I think I saved. I'll double save.
Hello!
So I went to mentioned earlier that I went to a concert last night. That was a lot of fun. There was a Grateful Dead cover band. They're all really talented. Yeah, it's called Grateful Shred, and it was at a cool venue. Fun show. Yeah, and they did 2 sets too. It was a pretty long show. It didn't get out until about midnight or so. But yeah, it was a good time. Always fun to be around a bunch of dirty hippies just doing the dance, you know? Just dancing like nobody's looking. since it's a ground, will I be able to do fly at all? Maybe it just won't be that effective. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, it was a good time. I did see someone getting taken out of the, venue who looked very much like they'd had a little too much of something. And, yeah, they had a couple people to try to take them out. And, or took a couple people to get them out, sort of, and she was just like, at one point, like, the guy's like, hey, you have to turn around and go, like, we're gonna take care of you, you need to turn around and go, and she like turns around, and I'm seeing the flashlight is shining right at her face, but her pupils are still, you know, even with the flashlight in her face, normally they'd shrink, right? They or wait, yeah, right. Yeah, I had it right. Yeah, but yeah. I didn't wear the headband Ichigo. No, I gotta try it. That's too recognizable, you know? I can't, I gotta avoid the paparazzi, you know? If I'm wearing the headband, I'm gonna have to deal with paparazzi. I'm gonna have to deal with Fortnite fans pissed off about my last gamer news I did. You know, it's just a bad scene. It's just a tough scene. Yes. Yeah, that's right. I have to live a life of mystery and intrigue because of my role as America's #1 online video game personality. Safety save. Oh, you know what? Speaking of safety saves, I haven't done a one of these in a while. Save state. Yeah, totally binary. Yeah, and I think that yeah, right. And it's funny too, because of course they knew that, you know, the thing that made the box art for Dragon Quest in Japan so popular and make it fly off the shelves or make people excited about it, of course, was the tie-in with you know, the Dragon Ball creator and you know what I'm just, you know, the guy Akira Toriyama, right? So yeah, with him, of course, doing the art for DQ, I think, you know, Americans wouldn't really have, at that time especially, you know, that wouldn't speak to us necessarily. We wouldn't recognize that. It wouldn't jump off the shelf. And yeah, and I so they tried to give it some kind of really dramatic, you know, cover. It just doesn't quite work that well. Let's go, Brock.
Good morning, Paul. What will your first sequence of the day be?
Still got his arms crossed. Or I think he was actually doing something like that. He was like shirtless and doing this in the first gen. Now he's throwing his shirt on, thank God. Leader Brock wants to battle.
Hello!
Send out Graveler. Yeah, good question, Binary, right? Yeah, it would be interesting to be a fly on the wall for some of the localization decisions and you know, I just, some of it I can't, oh, I should have done hypnosis. Some of it I just, some of those ideas of like, you know, hey, we can't give these Americans anything that sort of resembles anime. You know, we got to give them something, some kind of really gritty thing. And so much the box art just really missed the, I found so often, even just the like thematic, just the feel of the game, the atmosphere, you know, you would have this box art that was trying to go for some kind of like, I don't know what it was trying to appeal to really, but often kind of a hero or, you know, really strong, badass protagonist. When in some cases those games weren't really like, it wasn't really their thing, you know. It wasn't like about, you know, Mega Man. It's not about some, you know, some Chad in a yellow and blue outfit who's running around with a gun and, you know, dodging laser beams and but that's the box art we got, you know. More on that later. Wink wink, nudge nudge. I'm gonna talk about that later. So don't I better not use all my ideas for it just yet. Too easy, PETA. Omastar. So Omastar is like rock and water or something, I think. Do. Yeah, it was like sometimes they would go too far in the adult direction. They wouldn't really match the game's feel, and then other times they would really like make it super kiddie, you know. But it was like there wasn't a whole lot of in between. Sorry, guys. Just looking where I scratched my arm when I was jogging the other day, and it's acting up on me. Sorry. Exciting stuff here. Let me tend to my wound.
Are you ready, kids?
I mean, I don't feel that bad. There's not a huge level difference here. I mean, PETA is 41. And that's the levels that I'm running up against. Onyx did a little wiggle. I was cracking up though because when I'm at that concert last night, and it's funny because someone tried. I thought what was happening in the moment was something that had happened at the last concert that we went to, and what I thought was occurring was that someone was starting to dance on me because they wanted to get deeper into the crowd. We were kind of close to the front, and like the last concert I went to before yesterday's was, there was just a point when this young woman and boyfriend or something showed up on the scene, and it was already a really tight area, and they had decided they wanted to kind of get in front of us, even though there wasn't any room. Like we were like basically kind of 3 rows back. It's all standing, no one's sitting, but you know, there's only a few people ahead of us, and it's just, you're at that point where it's like, you're not gonna get any further without having to displace someone else, you know, like, and this girl starts kind of like dancing on me a bit, and like, I noticed she was sort of grinding a bit, and I was like, I realized what she was trying to do is kind of just sort of nudge me out of the way a bit, and I was like, you know, I was like, no, I will not, you know, I will not, you're not gonna, there's no room in front of me, and I'm not about to go back so that you can squeeze right in front, immediately in front of us, like right here in front of us, you know. And then she after a while, she stopped that, and then just kind of seemed like she was a little pissed, or I don't know. And then I thought that same thing was happening last night at the concert we were at. Because once again, I'm just kind of minding my own business, and then suddenly I feel someone sort of dancing on me a bit. And then I realized, like, oh, there's this person that's been kind of next to me for a little bit, and she is they're lit at this point, and she decided to like drop it down, but I think she was so drunk that like she basically needed my leg as essentially to function as a wall or a pole, what have you. But she goes to like drop it down, and like I'm feeling more than I should feel. Like I'm feeling some separation of the ass cheeks as she goes down, like down the leg a little bit. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And I scoot over a little bit because I'm like, I'm not trying to have you know, like grind on my leg right now. That is not what I want, you know? And and furthermore, I don't even want to be seen as this happening. And like, you know, I told my partner, I was like, I wanted even, what's the term? Like I didn't want any, I can't remember it, but like, no possibility of any impropriety on my part, you know? So I'm like, okay, I like scoot over a little bit, and she almost falls into the floor because she was leaning on me, and I didn't realize, I have to admit in that moment, I didn't realize like how much she was basically leaning on me, and I was the only thing keeping her from hitting the floor. And then she almost fell down, like seriously, like had to put a hand down, and almost fell down and went like, woo, or seemed like kind of like surprised or perturbed a little bit that I had moved away. But it was like, no, dude, you're not gonna grind on my leg. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not. It's not gonna happen. So, anyway, all this is to say, people, you know, like, do whatever dance you want to do as long as you can do it in your space, you know? Like, if the dance move you want to do requires you to lean on someone else, I would say maybe don't do that one, you know? Yeah, I have to admit, I did chuckle to myself a little bit. She almost busted her ass, and then I realized, like, yeah, I'm the pole. I'm the only thing keeping her up. For all I know, she was so lit. She started the move and then started to stumble and fell into me, and then needed me there, and then I moved. So I don't know. I don't want to assume any malice or, you know. I'm more just gonna assume she was just drunk and trying to dance, and then basically needed a walker, you know? Needed someone to hold her up. All right, we did it. We beat Brock. We got the badge. Got that badge.
Me, Mario!
Go heal up. Where's the Pokemon Center? Here it is. I just want to check something real quick. I had some issues with my YouTube videos going down as excuse me, as like unlisted. And one of the videos I did didn't get posted fully, so I'm gonna see if I can figure out what that was. Sorry guys, 1 second, almost done. Live? We are public. Cool. All right. Good stuff. Okay. So, what's next on our Poke Agenda? Pewter. So we popped out a little south of Pewter, I think, when we've got like Mountain Moon. Can we go to Mountain Moon? Let's try that. Do-do-do-do-do. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think my partner knew what was going on at the time, Binary. She did see that person almost fall, and I told her later, but about it. But yeah, no, I didn't. It all happened very quickly, and then that person. I think this kind of just tells you where this person was, sobriety-wise, because she ended up about like 5 minutes after that. I heard her tell her friend like, like I gotta get out. I gotta get back. I gotta get back out of this crowd, you know. And she disappeared. So didn't see. I have to say I feel like it was more just like she tried to dance and then was about to fall, so she kind of leaned on me. I think it was more of that, but in the moment, before I realized that was going on, my initial instinct was like, "What the fuck? Are you trying to? What are you doing? You know, like what are you?" Let's hear it, Ichigo. Yeah, let's hear it. Ichigo's got a FF7 remake. Do I need to switch rant mode on for you, Ichigo, or? Oh, there it is. He had it ready to fire. The second message. Got 3/4 of the way through the game and just watched the rest on YouTube. Damn. Yeah, let's hear it. What? I know. At one point you had said you were getting a little uninspired or felt a little bogged down. I think. Oh, this might kill it. Yeah. Yeah, the story is fun. The voice acting and stuff's really good, and yeah, you know, the gameplay, I think it took me a while to really feel like I was enjoying it. It took some time, and I still, throughout that first playthrough, I have to admit, I never felt good at it, you know? Like I never felt like I was totally in control, and that I was just like, oh, whoops, we're fighting. That's right. I tried to catch this dude's Pokemon. But yeah, I never fully felt like I was like totally in control of what I was doing. It always felt a little, I always felt like I was like a little behind or a little, you know, yeah, just playing from behind, you know, had trouble staying on top of battles, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on the walking cutscenes and stuff. I think that's a lot of people's. I've seen more of that, you know. Now that the initial shock of it coming out is of course worn out, you know, has worn off now. A few years later, 3 years later, I can't believe it. But yeah, now that initial shock has worn off, I think I actually see your comment about the walking segments, and yeah, where it just really slows things down. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with part 2, because from the little bit that I saw in one of the teaser trailers, it looks like they're covering a lot of stuff in it, you know. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna play out. Whoops. Because it seems like it covers a lot of content from the original OG, and I could see this one being more gameplay, maybe a better ratio of things to do gameplay wise versus the kind of slow story exposition. But then again, I don't know, you know, maybe that's just kind of the sort of style that they're working towards. Yeah. Did you hear about the some of the reaction to the FF7, the new FF7, I forget what the next one's called, but Yeah, old dude. I can try to remember his name. Okay, I'm trying to think of his name. He's one of the big Final Fantasy developers. He was behind a lot of 7. And did the Kingdom Hearts stuff too, I think. Gosh, I can even picture his face, but I don't remember his name. But he was getting a lot of, he was even getting death threats because the new trailer, like some of the shipping community got super upset because they thought that the trailer for the next game, this early teaser trailer they thought it focused too much on Aerith and not enough on Tifa. So they're like really they were upset, and he even talked about it a little bit. But yeah, like he and other members of the team were getting like, you know, some really really nasty things said about them, including, to my understanding, some death threats. You know, I want to say that was part of it. At the very least, they were getting threats, and you know, and oh, sorry about the SD switch binary, or sorry, the SD card for your Switch. Yeah, I hope you can get a hold of a good one. And sometimes they, you know, every now and then you'll see a dip in price or something. But yeah, I hope you can get a good one, because yeah, that's definitely, that holds you back. Nothing sucks more than, well, I'm sure some things suck more than corrupted data on an SD card, but it really does suck. That's got to be up there. On the list of things that suck. Yeah, Ichigo, they were saying that basically, like, they thought Tifa didn't have enough. It was a worry that Tifa was not going to be central enough to the story because the trailer focused too much on Aerith. So yeah, they were like super. People were getting really weird about that, and I don't know, the folks who are, I don't know, man. There's just many other, there's a lot of things you can focus your time and your energy on in this world. And I think I think it's probably wise to spend about as little time as possible on building relationships between fictional characters. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. For me, in my life, that would be a waste of my time. I can't speak for everyone, but damn, dude, some of these people who spend so much time, energy, and focus on fan fiction or the idea of shipping their favorite characters. I mean, shit, it's, you know, hey, you know, everybody's got their weird, you know, strange things they're into. I'm not saying you can't, but damn. Just don't know. Don't know if that's always the best usage of, it wouldn't be the best usage of my time. Sit around, counting all the ways that I don't know, all the ways that my favorite relationship needs to happen, and how I'm gonna get mad if it doesn't, if that relationship isn't depicted in the game, you know?
Oh my god, we're back again.
It's better to spend your time, you know, like doing things like going down to the Game Awards to try to figure out your place within the wider world of gaming. And, yeah. Then again, I guess I'm only speaking for myself. Well, yeah, well, yeah, just to close that loop. Yeah, sorry about that, Ichigo. I mean, maybe it's something you could give a shot to later on, but yeah, I won't, you know, I won't, pretend to know what's the secret that's gonna unlock the game for you. Not that you ask for that, or, you know, you're not doing the usual thing that you could have gone to Reddit and posted like, hey guys, I'm just really feeling a certain kind of way right now because, like, I really want to love the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I don't know, guys, I've only made it 3/4 of the way through it, and I just can't push myself to finish, and can anyone, like, give me any tips or tricks to help me, like, see what this game is about and help me get into it? I feel like that's such a common, you see that, I don't know, I just see that sentiment all over Reddit. And elsewhere, too. Spreading across, like, video games, music, TV, whatever, where people don't like a piece of media, and they're trying to tell everyone else how, basically, help me get into this thing that I don't like. You know, and to an extent, I get that. Like, it's like asking, hey, what am I missing about this? You know, what does this game or this song or this band mean to you? Can you describe what I'm missing by not being into it? You know, but also at the same time, yeah, it's just like, dude, if you don't like something, you don't like it, you know? Like, there's no like certain steps that you need to go through for you to like this thing. And if you didn't go through that exact amount of steps, then you're just totally screwed, and you'll never understand the fandom, or you'll never understand the source material, or you'll never get into it. I see that a lot with bands and people like, hey, I like this one song from this band, you know, like, where should I go next? Or people basically, sometimes people will just reply and they'll give like, hey, don't listen to this album, you need to go to this one, and then go to this one after that, and then go to the third. And they'll be very, whoops, get them cheese. Basically like, hey, if you don't listen to this band in the right order, you're not gonna end up liking them. And it's all just so strange to me. It's like, just listen, just go listen to them. Don't ask everyone where to start. You can, but you don't need that. Like, just go pull something up. If it's a dud, try another one. If that's a dud, maybe try a third. And if they're all duds, then maybe you're not big into that band, and you can try it again later, you know, like, this idea of like, I want to get into this thing, but I'm not into it. Tell me how to get into it. You know, like, I don't know, man. Maybe you just don't like it. Maybe now's not the time, and you come back later and try it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed anything like that, but that's been a bit of a pet peeve of mine. I think because I'm on some like band subreddits and stuff, and right, binary, yeah, totally. And it sort of goes both ways with people saying like, hey, I want to get into this band or this movie or this game series or this game franchise. Where do I start? Or it's, you know, I've dabbled in those things and I don't like them. You know, what am I missing? How do I... Tell me what I need to do to like it, basically. Right, genres, yeah. And then the flip side of that is people pretending that like there's only one proper way for someone to get into that band. Or, all right, okay, ooh, all right, Binary, you've never played a Zelda game, huh? Okay, all right. Whatever you do, okay, do not start with Tears of the Kingdom. Do not start with Tears of the Kingdom, okay? I'm telling you, you need to go to Ocarina of Time first, then You know, I don't know. Like, there's, you know, these are ultimately all opinions, and they're opinions that are informed by our own experiences and our own nostalgia that we can't impart to someone else. They have to pick it up on their own, you know. And theirs will be a little different, you know. Yeah, it's like some gatekeeping, kind of. Definitely a form of it. Yeah, Ichigo, I get it, you know, because, like, I mean, like, I understand it, because sometimes I get the impulse of, like, hey, I have been told that this thing is great, and people who I appreciate like this thing, but I'm not enjoying it. I think I'm missing out on something, you know, like, I would like to be part of, I feel like I would like this. I feel like I have it in me to be a Zelda fan or whatever. But yeah, but I do think I guess what bugs me more than anything is people telling new players who don't have that experience and that nostalgia that they have, telling them like a really buckled, like a tight list of, you need to hit this and then that and then this. Don't do this. When it's like, things are just more open than that. That worked for you, but you know, believe it or not, you can end up liking a band even if you first pulled up one of their albums that is one of the least popular ones. And furthermore, you might listen to one of the least popular albums, not like it, but not just write the band off entirely. You know, like people are, I don't know, there's this idea of like, if you don't do it in this proper order, you're not gonna get it, you know. No, Binary, you just need one of those guys on Reddit to tell you all the, like, I'm sure they could help steer you towards some heavy metal that, you know, that isn't like a, you know, a satanic theme or something like that. Rhizone, we haven't seen Rhizone in a bit, but yeah, he's into a lot of, he likes a lot of metal and a lot of Christian bands and stuff. And I bet actually, he's the one out of all the folks I know on Twitch. I think he would probably be able to steer you towards some stuff that he likes, at least. And I know he's mentioned some Christian and sort of just like, you know, maybe secular bands, but ones that don't really dwell in the sort of darker stuff, or, you know, like anti-religious themes or stuff like that, you know. Step right up and take a look. I will say one thing I remember realizing about metal and about punk is that for like as intense as the aesthetic of it could be and the music can be, often the people can be very like, they can often be very kind and not everyone, but especially certain subsets of metal and of punk. Like, I remember going to a punk show, and then, you know, like I was kind of intimidated just because, like, my friends are introducing me to people, and this is like a punk show in like the city near us. And, you know, everybody, to me, in my, well, just like ignorance of the world, or, you know, just being young, I'm seeing all these people who look, you know, they look pretty hardcore. They look like some rough and tumble folks who aren't going to be very nice. And then I saw like how in the pit, everyone was like very supportive and like picking each other up and not, you know, dusting people off and helping like no one was out there to just hurt anyone at that show. And then later we went and hung out with some people, and they're all talking about like you know, like some of them were gonna go, they were about to go to their like shift at a food kitchen, and some, or they did like a, they did like some like some of them were part of the like Food Not Bombs group where they would you know, like serve the homeless and stuff, and do things like that. And yeah, I just remember these guys, they were, a lot of them were like super into animal, you know, animal rights and animal liberation and stuff like that too. And you know, it's just funny seeing this huge dude with a bunch of tats and like, you know, look at you looking super aggro, and then he's like a well-adjusted person and very smart, you know, very eloquent, very with a really big heart too, and friendly and supportive of others. And I kind of just realized like, oh yeah, and actually I also realized that a lot of the music in the lyrics are actually sometimes it's not so much like a glorification. I mean, there are bands that do this, but yeah, it's not so much a glorification of like evil or violence as much as it is a description of how screwed up the world is, and just choosing to describe the violent aspects of our life that we currently live in, and you know, talking about policies, you know, there was a lot of like war imagery and stuff that if you just heard it, you would think like, oh, these guys are like, oh dude, yeah, this is some hyper violent stuff, you know, and it's just talking about like a war zone, and you know, and kids dying in a bombing and all this other, you know, really hard stuff. And like if you just heard it, you might think this is them thinking like, this is cool, but no, it's like it's a denunciation of that. It's a, you know, so yeah. Anyway, most you guys know this stuff. I'm just rambling, but yeah, just kind of talking about my own experience with, you know, sometimes it took me a second to get in. It took me a little while to get into harder music because yeah, it looked intimidating, you know, and then I found out that some of those people in the hardcore punk scene and some of the metal scenes, it's actually like a bunch of like, you know, a bunch of vegan kids who are like, you know, feeding the homeless and stuff. It's like, okay, actually this is, you know, this is this community is like taking care of themselves and others. Like this is actually kind of cool. Yeah, I hear you, Binary, yeah. Let's keep playing for a little bit. I may take a break around the hour 45-minute mark, something like that, and which we're coming up on in the next, you know, 12 minutes. Trying to get Not an Eel some experience here, but. Trying to remember how Not an Eel evolves. Do they need a stone or something? You know. So I'm not familiar with Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Is that was that like an early recording artist for some gospel music? All right, Golby, what you got? No, I haven't Binary. It was on when I was around somewhere, but I wasn't, like, I came in midway through it, so I didn't get to catch it up. I didn't get a sense of the movie, really. Hey, sounds good, Ichigo. We'll be here when you step into the light. Alright, who else needs some experience? Peter, and get in there. Oh, that's cool. Maybe I've heard something, I just don't recognize the name. Probably the case. Oh, we're not going to be great against this Golbat, but...
Hello.
I've been forgetting my sound effects, jeez.
Give me a hell yeah.
Keep forgetting that. Let's get something else in here to finish you. Pseudo Widow, get in and throw a rock at this thing.
Yahoo!
That's cool, Binary. Yeah, thanks for learning me something. There we go. One rock slide's all it took. Well, and a couple moves from other Pokemon, but we won't count those. Because they didn't finish the job. Meganium, huh? So yeah, we're fighting our rival here. He snuck up on us, and I wasn't expecting a rival fight. So let's see what we can do. Should be fine.
Absolutely.
Thanks again for hanging out. Happy Sunday, guys. I think not too long after this fight, I think I'll be taking a break. And then when I come back, we'll talk about some games that are celebrating their birthdays today. We've got quite a few. Like I said, especially a lot of Final Fantasy and Rockman. Just worked out that way. A lot of those games came out today. And then we're going to get into a little bit of news and kind of a discussion topic about sort of the kind of increasing role of creativity and crafting, things like that in games. You know, why do we see more of it? What are some games that do it right? Are there any games that are problematic in that way for you guys? And you know, we'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, there was some news kind of related to that and Zelda. So we'll get into that in a bit. I think we'll probably do that after a break. Take a breather and come back and do it. Sending in Gengar now, huh? Okay. Yeah, there was a whole lot of that. I mean, yeah, Elvis Presley, obviously, you know, so much of his success. I mean, you know, a guy as charismatic as Elvis was, I think he probably would have found some kind of success in most any era, you know. But yeah, he absolutely, you know, so much of his music was very heavily influenced. Yeah, one could even say copied from, of course, a lot of the black musicians who came before him. So much of popular music of all genres, pretty much every genre in this country, can trace its roots back to, well, I won't say trace roots like 100% back to, but in many ways, at least a portion of most of the genres we have. And by a portion, it's often the biggest portion, can be attributed to, yeah, the black musicians who set the tone and created these genres and Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's cool, Binary, to get the record and learn the story behind that, and yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, but what I meant is that a lot of his rock and roll sound was directly taken and had already been out for a while by way of black musicians, and Elvis was the first. In many cases, for some people, they would say, like, you know, I think some people, if anyone would try to argue that he created rock and roll, like, I mean, that's just not the case, you know. There were absolutely people doing it before him. But yeah, that's not to say that there weren't, you know, that he wasn't inspired by a multitude of musicians. But I do think it's so much of rock had its foundation from a lot of early black musicians who were doing it, often as an offshoot of, you know, sometimes early R&B or blues, things like that, you know. But yeah, they were. He did draw from a lot of different influences, and you know, there's. You know. All right. Yeah, he definitely drew from a, you know, he was I mean, you know, most of those folks back then, if you were a musician, you were probably also a little bit of a, you know, just music sponge, you know, like a lot of those people who were musicians, if they weren't recording their own music, they were, you know, browsing the stacks at some record store and you know, just kind of students of music, you know, and sending out the big boy, Alakazam. The psychic in this Gen 2, they really bumped it up a notch. They added some extra rings to it. Yeah. One more flame. It might not survive, but that's okay. We'll get him with the next one. I love that animation too. So cool. It's making things get wavy. All right, who can take this guy down? Yeah, so much of Elvis was like right place, right time, right face. I do think he was the charisma would have, if he were born today, I think he would go on to be some kind of star, you know. Just certain people are just like forces of nature in their life, and you know. But yeah, I think a lot of you know, he was right time, right place, right energy, and right looks for I think that there's a reason why rock music exploded after he came in, because he was a face that could be shown more on TV, and at that point more white people did get onto rock and roll and were introduced to some of this stuff by way of Elvis and others, you know. I think it's interesting. I think who's trying to learn Screech? Screech lowers the defense, I think, a lot. Let's see. I wonder if Screech is worth teaching him. We have a pretty decent, I mean, Bite is kind of good against some ghosts, even if it's not that strong. I do wonder if I should teach Screech. Sorry, bear with me for just a second. I'm going to look this up. Ba-do-do-do-do. One second. Although Screech and a few others... Anyway, I think I'll skip Screech, probably. Because I mostly just use this guy for offense here, you know. Screech fears have some rare uses. Those uses are too situational for a viable option. Okay, yep. I thought I raised my Pokemon to be the best they could be. But it still wasn't enough. Hey, our rival ambushed us and we did alright. You won fair and square, I admit it. But this isn't the end. I'm gonna be the greatest Pokemon trainer ever.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Because these guys are behind me. Listen, Benji. Wow, he's talking about his Pokemon. Because these guys, I'm gonna be the best ever because these guys are behind me. One of these days, I'm gonna prove how good I am by beating you. You know, it sounds like he's got a little growth going on. We got ourselves a little character arc with this guy. You know, he wasn't that long ago that he was talking about like he was getting pissed at his Pokemon and how they've caused him to lose and all this other stuff. And now he's talking about how he knows he can do anything with those Pokemon behind him. And yeah, he's growing. He's maturing a little bit. You like to see that, honestly. I want to see some growth. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly us back to, since we're all beat up, I'm going to fly us back to Pewter. We'll heal up and then I'll take a break. That makes sense, Binary. Thank you guys for hanging out. Really chill Sunday. A little, yeah. Just a few of us hanging out. That's nice. I think before I take that break, let me at least ride our bike up there so I know. No wasted movement. I'll get us right up to where we need to be. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Scooby-Dooby. I forgot where to go. You would think I would be so familiar with these maps at this point. I've been in Kanto many times before. Do-do-do-do. Here we are. Mount Moon. Alright, this is cool. Happy Sunday, guys. I'm enjoying this playthrough. I hope you guys are too. I'm gonna step away and take a good little break. You know, I've been about 2 hours now without a break. We're getting close to it. 10 minutes shy of that. So I'm gonna take about 5 or 6 minutes. It'll be, you know, one of those longer breaks. But I'll do that, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about some game anniversaries, some games that came out today, celebrate a few birthdays, and then we'll take some time to talk a little gamer news and a little bit about the crafting. And it's the way that there's just more and more crafting creativity in games. I want to get you guys' thoughts on that, and where's it done right? Where are they missing it? You know. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Hey, thanks for lurking, Nick. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, buddy. And congrats on beating Wizpig earlier. I stuck around a little bit after that, but I had to run. Not too long after that, but yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a little break. Oh yeah, yeah. No worries, Binary. Yeah, I didn't. I was like Sub Studios. Are they underwater or are they in the sky? All right, guys, I'm gonna take a little break. I'll see you back here. Well, I'm gonna take about 5 or 6 minutes, so I'll see you back in a few. You guys should get a break too. I'll see you soon. BRB.
Keep the change, you filthy animals.
Hey gamers, happy Sunday, good to see you. Thanks for the long break. How we doing, folks? Hope it's been a decent week for you. It's been a good one for me. Just, you know, decent week, I guess. You know, where does the week stop, though? Is this a new week? I don't know. Feels like to me it's a new week on Monday, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's a Sunday. Okay, thank you, PlayStation 1. Thank you. Thank you for that amazing sound effect. It's been busy around here, man. And I was telling you guys earlier that I've had the realization that things just aren't gonna like settle down and in any way until probably after New Year's. I'm gonna be going home for Christmas, and you know, work has been I've had more work than ever. It's been extremely fun, but I'm not always using my time the best way, but you know, learning, things are getting faster. Stuff that used to take a long time doesn't take as long now. You know, it's I can feel the muscle building, you know.
Mama always had a way of explaining things so I could understand them.
Thanks, Forrest. Yeah, the content creation muscle. Trying to flex it, trying to build it, trying to work it out. But doing my best. Well, all right, let's maybe we should talk about some game birthdays and do a little gamer news as well, if you guys are down for that. I think that could be fun, so let's do it. Let's start with a little bit of history. Let the Parvinator take you back to the good old days for a little bit. All right.
Let's go!
Let's do it. That's right, Ichigo. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, Jamesy.
All right, so let's do it. Let's talk about the good old days. Got one for you. Rockman, 36 years ago, 1987. The original Rockman game came out. Oh, look at that. Beautiful green screen action. In fact, I've got a limited edition Rockman cartridge that it has the little Mario 3 hills in the margins of the cart. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Rockman 1, starting off strong. This, I should have just, you know, as a broadcaster, I screwed this up. I should have taken a second to just say, this is a hefty, good old days for you. All right, my hair cannot contain its excitement. Get the fuck out of my eyes, please. All right, Rockman for the Famicom. I love this game. Those of you who've been around for a bit, of course, you probably remember Mega Fridays. We did a lot of Mega Man, a lot of Rockman around here. I ended up buying the first 6 Rockman games, all the ones for the Famicom. As a kid, I mostly just played the first one. This one, of course, yeah, it got the name Mega Man when it came here. I read that there wasn't really that long of a turnaround because, of course, there wasn't a whole lot of translation that needed to be done. But yeah, they did have time, at least just enough time, to to get some of the most epic box art you've ever seen for the original game. Sorry, I should have. I went a little too big there. I mean, can you go too big with this guy? Well, yeah. I remember having this as a kid, and me and my cousin, even then, we knew, kind of like the watching the Mario movie, we knew something was deeply wrong. You know, because obviously Mega Man is blue. Obviously Mega Man doesn't walk around carrying a piece, right? He's got one in his arm. He doesn't need a Doesn't need a gun.
You teach me and I'll teach you.
And then I don't know what's going on in this, like, yeah, he's thick too. Yeah, I mean, I should just to say that. Yeah, great point, Ichigo. He is, he's thick. His knees appear to be very flexible too. There's some strange posturing going on. I don't know where those kneecaps are pointing, but he's still standing, you know? And yeah, it's because this dude never skips leg day. He's also just pulled his long sleeve shirt out of the dryer or something, or out of the hamper rather, because that shit is wrinkly. Looks bad. But in the background, you've got like some kind of weird, like the early CGI art, you know, the like those early landscapes and stuff. It would be like a lot of infinite pools and like, you know, crazy geometry that doesn't work, and some nice neon palm trees in the background too, kind of looking like, I don't know, like you took mushrooms and you just walked around Dubai or something, you know. I don't really know what is going on with this cover, but it looks intense. But yeah, Ichigo, the holding of a pistol too, it's great. And where is that gun pointing compared? It's all, we love it. We love the box art. But yeah, Rockman, these games are fun. I would say out of the original 6, I like the first Rockman, but to me, I think I do think that the others are improvements over it. You had to start somewhere. It's interesting. I was reading that Capcom didn't really think that this game would be much of a success, and it ended up selling enough to where they were like, okay, we hit a margin for where it looks like we could localize and put this thing out in North America. They did that, and then it was just successful enough for them to greenlight a Rockman 2, which of course would be the one that truly blew the franchise up and is many people's favorite Rockman to this day. It's a really solid one, you know. But yeah, you had to start somewhere. This first game has 6 Robot Masters instead of 8, but it started the whole paper rock scissors thing. If you haven't played these games, it's similar to Pokemon. Basically, well, this part isn't that similar, but the paper rock scissors is. But yeah, you basically can choose whichever boss you want to go to, which for its time was a level select like that was, you know, pretty novel for its time in that sort of game. And having that system where one boss's weapon is going to be super effective against another boss. So until you unless you guess correctly, or intuitively, you know, know, or you look these bosses up, you basically are going in and having to do some trial and error. Honestly, whichever boss you can beat first, you know, if you can get it done, then that starts the chain, you know. Then at that point, one other boss will be weak to that weapon. So anyway, you guys know how the game works. Come on, we're all gamers here. Even if you haven't played it before, you know what's going on. Shut up! But yeah, Rockman. These games are awesome. This first one, the music, I like a lot of the music, a lot of earworms. It's a little more harsh. It would get so good as it went throughout the series. And yeah, I don't know. I think favorite Mega Man for me, I think 2. I think 2 is still my favorite, and then out of those first 6, and then I think I said 4. I did this at the end of all the Rockman days, all the Mega Man Fridays. I tried to do a little bit of ranking, and I'm pretty sure I had 2 at top, 4 as a second, and 4 to me is one that I just think is solid on every front. I just think I like you know, I like 2 a lot. I also have a soft spot for you know, our boy Proto Man. Yeah, yes, that's, so Ichigo said I was playing the Gutsman stage on the TV. My wife was like, you know, this sounds super annoying, right? Yeah, it's some earworms, but especially with this first game, it got, it gets harsh. It gets harsh. The music is a little harsh sometimes. For sure.
You, Chico!
Especially compared to, yeah. Even 2 and 3, I just think, yeah, they knew what they were doing a little bit more. They sound better. You know, that's the thing, right? You got to start somewhere. We all stand on the shoulders of giants. So, big salute to Capcom for getting Rockman 1 out the door, and then starting a series that would go on to be one of my favorites, and maybe one of yours. Who knows? Thank you, Rockman. Thank you, Mega Man. Oh, actually, I do have a little blurb about the name change. I think this comes from the Wikipedia. So yeah, basically, when it was localized for distribution in America, Capcom changed the title of the game from Rockman to Mega Man. This moniker was created by Capcom's then Senior Vice President Joseph Morici, who claimed it was changed merely because he did not like the original name. That title was horrible, Morici said, so I came up with Mega Man, and they liked it enough to keep using it for the US games. OneUp.com's Nadia Oxford attributed this change to Capcom's belief that American children would be more interested in a game with the latter title of Mega versus Rockman. But the problem is they're naming characters after, you know, like Rock is a character. So this would quickly become an issue, especially by the, you know, like, I mean, right away, you have another character, Roll, who shows up even in the first game. And then, you know, you get a few games into it, and then, yeah, who I mentioned, Proto Man earlier, is known as Blues in Japan. And yeah, they do all these musical names, and it just gets lost a little bit. It gets kind of confusing, because you still have Mega Man. Also, in the Japanese version, they could just say Rock. You know, they could just call him Rock sometimes. At least, like, you know, he would be called that sometimes in some of the media. But, yeah, here, what are you going to call him? Mega? Like, you know, that just doesn't really work, right? You don't have that short and familiar, you know, that you can throw at him. Hey, Mega, come here, Mega, come here, Mega Man. You have to do the whole thing, you know. I'm telling you, dude, localization, sometimes it just feels like we're playing a copy of a copy, you know. It's sad.
The autumn wind is a pirate.
That's why you gotta play the OG stuff. Burp. All right. Dave said they do call him Mega in one or more of the games. Interesting. Something to look into, eh? Next up, Final Fantasy II came out 35 years ago. Whoa, not this Final Fantasy II. Whoa, hold up. No, not that one. And not you either. This Final Fantasy II came out 35 years ago, 1988. I've never played FF2. This box art is incredible. Absolutely, Ichigo. Yeah. Oh, it's insane. I mean, what are you gonna do? And I've seen.
Give me a hell yeah!
I've seen this watercolor of this person showing up more and more the last few years. I think, but yeah, it's so crazy. I mean, look at the logo too. They hadn't really standardized the FF at this point, so you get if you look up in the top left where it says, it's crazy, but if you look at it from a weird angle, you wouldn't even see that it says Final Fantasy. It's like an awesome, like, I mean, it looks like a Grateful Dead poster or something, you know?
Let's go.
And then, yeah, just what a great cover. And then coming in those longer boxes, too. Yeah, Binary, I remembered you posting this one recently. Yeah. Beautiful box art. I haven't played this game as much, and because I had a bunch of games coming up today, a lot of which I've played, I didn't have time to look into it as much as I wanted to. There's something I'm wondering. One of the early Final Fantasies, and it was either 2 or 3. It did something where you, like, the more you attack, your strength will go up. If you know, like, as you do things, that stat will go up, and that's how you make your stats go up in those categories, is by actually defending for defense, or physical attack to raise your physical attack, magic to raise your magic. And I don't know if it was 2 or 3, but I know people were like, it's an interesting system, but it ends up not really playing out that well, you know? I mean, I think intuitively it sounds like it would make sense. Like, yeah, you reward the player for doing, I think maybe at a quick glance, if you're not much of a game designer, as I am not, then I could see it. Yeah, that makes sense, right? The more a character does something, you should kind of lean them in that direction. I would look that up now, but I don't want my computer to go haywire. And, but yeah, so forgive me. I don't know if that was 2 or 3. I haven't played a lot of the early Final Fantasy. I wanted to play more, and I've dabbled a bit, you know? When Origins came out, I played. My buddy got that for the PlayStation 1 a long time ago, and we did, or that one had, what, Final Fantasy 6 on it, I think? Yeah. So I've played for Final Fantasy most of 4 and up. But, yeah, not so much 1, 2, and 3. So, yeah. I do remember, yeah, didn't a version of like 1 and 2 come out? They came out as well for maybe the Game Boy Advance, something like that. Good stuff.
Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Yeah, there was that. Right. Yeah, Binary. Yeah, and there was one too that was Legends that had, I believe, Chrono or something. What was that one? It had Chrono Trigger and FF6 on it as well, I believe. Good stuff. But yeah, anyway, like to get around to this one at some point, but we'll see. You know, beautiful box art. FF2, 35 years old, 1988. Coming up next, we got another Rockman game, Rockman X. All right, bam! I don't know. I was about to throw this thing, dude. I felt it slide just a bit. All right, Rockman X, another beautiful green screen. Got the custom edition, custom Mario edition. Jesus, I don't ever think about the green screen until I'm holding something up to it. Rockman X, or Mega Man X, being the version that I was familiar with as a kid. Mega Man X, kind of hard to believe that these games are 30 years old. Came out in 1993. Hell yeah.
Now you're playing with power.
It's a fun game. I played it for Windows 95. I had a Windows 95 version of Rockman, or rather Mega Man X, and I was playing it on a crappy controller that I've since seen on some retro gaming forum or something. I saw it, I was like, that was definitely it. And this crappy little controller, very clicky.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
And, but the gamer in me rose above those crappy situations. The crashes, the buttons not doing what they were supposed to do, and being oddly spaced out. The gamer in me rose above, and I beat Mega Man X, and it was hard as hell.
Bird up.
And I learned all the I did learn like all the updates and stuff. Although the Hadoken eluded me for many years. I didn't see that in action for a long time. Sadly.
That's what it's all about, man. I mean, like...
Yeah, that is a power pose here. You talk about Mega Man X here? Totally. He's, is he like, you know, jump, he's mid-air? Yeah. Flying up. It's a cool game. Definitely a step, step in a new direction for the series. I think it was getting pretty stale, obviously. They'd done, you know, I think both 6 and X were developed like around the same time or had some overlap, but yeah, they'd been doing the same thing. So they mixed it up with this one, and yeah, throughout it you can find these capsules that it's basically like a memory from Mega Man X's creator, who you know, well, to back up a bit, it's a very cool storyline. I shouldn't get into it too much, honestly, but basically Mega Man X was created by Dr. Light and was secured away undergoing diagnostics because he was using a new program that would basically let him be sentient and be pretty much have personhood. But in order to make sure that he wouldn't become evil or it wasn't just totally corrupted, he had to go through this long self-diagnostic. Another scientist finds it before that diagnostic is finished, and basically from there, well, I don't know, I'm combining some things, but he ends up creating his own, like trying to create his own version of that program, and does not give it that time that things would need to actually confirm that it was not corrupted and would not, you know, go and just like kill all the humans. So, you know, yeah. So, anyway, lo and behold, all those that he creates ends up, they go haywire. Many of them do. And Mega Man X basically now wakes up out of his slumber. Self-diagnostic is finished, and he has to go kick some ass and take out all the bad bots.
Mama. Oh.
Thank you, Forrest.
Who's that Pokemon?
Let's go.
So yeah, that's some Mega Man X for you. Am I going too slow with this? Is this too slow? I don't know, man, pick it up, you know. Sometimes I just like to sit on it a little bit, you know, just like, you know, vibe a bit. I mean, come on, we're talking some great franchises here, you know.
Fatality.
Yeah, they went Maverick. You could even say they went Maverick. You wouldn't be wrong.
My name is Reggie. I'm about kicking ass. I'm about taking names.
I'm gonna cut you short there, Reggie. Yeah, Mega Man 1, an amazing game. I've only played it once since I started streaming, and I didn't go all the way through it. I think we should carve out some time. I'm letting this Super Famicom get dusty. It's been a while, guys. We gotta get on this. I love the 64, but we can mix in some Super Famicom too. So yeah, I'm thinking a Mega Man X hopefully within a couple months. Not too distant future. All right. Thank you, Mega Man X. Next up, another. Sticking with the Mega Man, Rockman 8 came out 27 years ago in 1996. And to me, that's kind of mind-blowing that there was only that much difference, you know, between Rockman X coming in 93 and then 8 in 96. 3-year difference, and then you're on the PlayStation 1. Look at that. So yeah, this cover is an interesting one. The art style is in some ways similar to the previous games, but it's like a little more saturation and I mean, you know, possibly that's the image that I pulled more than anything, but yeah, I thought it was kind of an interesting, a bit of a shift in some ways, but yeah, interesting box art here. I can hear the boos. There's a certain sound effect I'm not finding, but
Parvinator.
that's not it. But
He was special.
Some of you are saying about Rockman that he was special.
He was special.
Then they went and they did this to him. They put him in this game, you know. I have to admit, I haven't played much of. I've only had an opportunity to like. I want to say it was on a demo at a store at the mall back in the day, and I did. You know, I hopped on the controller for 5 minutes or something. So that's about my experience with Rockman 8. I remember doing that first level and getting to the like spider boss. I also remember thinking, reading an EGM and seeing images of this and thinking that the art style looked really fascinating to me because it was sort of a you know, 32-bit version of well, like in some ways I felt like it was, I don't know, a new era's take on what Mega Man would look like, and I thought in some ways it really vibes with like the Famicom NES look, and then in other ways, you know, I see where it's a big departure. Seems like this one really divided I won't say it divided the fan base so much as I think there's a lot of detractors of this game. There was a user who described this game, or one of the viewers here, who described this game as, what was it? This was particularly gross, but an ice cream, a tasty, sorry, they didn't say tasty, but just an ice cream sundae with a turd on top, you know, a little, maybe like a little, you know, Hershey's Kiss right on top, and that's some. I don't remember the exact verbiage, but that idea has stuck with me, sadly, and it's I think, you know, the gist, of course, being that a lot of the game is really good, but then there's enough in it to the bad that is in it is so particularly rank that it ruins it for everyone else. And I don't know if they were talking about a couple particular levels or what. I don't remember much of the conversation. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, salt and pepper!
Yeah, I don't know enough about it, Ichiko, to tell you what the turd is in this situation. But yeah, I think there's a couple levels that aren't so fun. I think, yeah, I know the voice acting for some people just doesn't get the job done. Isn't some people's favorites. So I get it, you know.
Parvinator.
Yeah, I understand. Oh, man. I need to play this one. We should get into this one sometime. I don't have a great way of playing it though, but we can figure that out. There are ways. There are ways.
This is a dud.
Some people say this one's a dud, Rockman 8, but I'll let Parvination do the deciding because I haven't played it. Check out the US box art for it. Very meh to me. I always thought this box art was a little, I remember seeing this as a kid, or at least something, I don't know if it said anniversary edition, but maybe it did. But I at least remember that pose and thinking it was a pretty meh, you know, not really digging it. It's all right. It's a cool action pose, but anyway. Mega Man 8, hard to believe, came out 27 years ago. Or at least Rockman 8 did. Next up is Mario Party 2. I've got this one. We're going to get into these games at some point. We're going to do a little Mario Party. But yeah, here it is, Mario Party 2. Only minimal Mario stickers on this one. Mario 3 green screen action. Cool art, kind of all over the place. What I'm looking at is, yeah, it's just that same logo, actually. Yeah, same thing. But Mario Party 2, Ichiko said certified classic. Oh, yeah. I haven't played a whole lot of this one, but I played enough to know I like it more than the first one. The first one I spent more time in because I rented it a couple of times. And then I had a friend who had the first one, so we would get down on that. And the first one, of course, for many people have memories of taking the 64 stick. I'm not going to do it because I respect this controller, and I've recently repaired it myself, so I have an intimate understanding of its what this thing means to me and how delicate it is. But yeah, you would take your palm for some of the games and spin the stick around, because it only said it would like count rotations on the stick spin, and of course that's the fastest way to do it. It also ripped people's hands up and gave people, including the Parvinator, a nice little nasty wound, you know, right in the center of my hand. The gamer stigmata. Jeez. What can you do, man? Welcome, Hanson. How you doing? Well, I can't... Yeah, I was about to say I can't tell you that, but yeah. No. Hey, you missed a little Final Fantasy, little Mega Man, little Rockman action. Yeah, no worries. Welcome. Yeah, so a lot of people burned their palms playing this game back in the day. I should say Mario Party 1. I think that they stopped doing that or made it clear that you shouldn't use your palms. I think at one point didn't they sell some kind of like cloth thing that you could put around your hand to do it? Like a semi-glove, I want to say, for Mario Party 1, in the wake of a bunch of kids, you know, burning a blister into their hands. Am I just hallucinating that? What is going on here?
All right, go off, Queen.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Mario Party 2. We're going to get around to this one at some point as part of our 19-part Parvinator 64 series. 19 Japanese games, all purchased in one eBay lot. Mario Party 2 is one of those 19. We're going to get it done. It's going to be some fun. I'm going to be playing against some CPUs. Now, that'd be a good one to bring some people in on, I think. I am thinking about some ways that I can try to bring other people in on streams. Maybe getting a love seat or something, you know? I've just got this one office chair here, but yeah, I want to have a second space for the chill, you know, the buddy stream, you know? I think I remember Nintendo selling something, or you could send for something, you know, you could write in for something and they would, but I don't remember. But yeah, Nick said, I got an insert in Mario Party 2 box telling players to not use their palm in Mario Party 1, but I think stick rotation games were absent in MP2. Yeah, probably a little covering their ass there, huh? That's funny. Binary said, I went to a GameStop store when Mario Party 4 came out and I bought the player's guide. Only had to pay 1 cent. Nice. Hey, you can't afford not to get that at 1 cent. Come on. So Mario Party 2. This is another one. It's like, whoa. Where's my date for this one? My apologies. I don't have the year listed. I won't go fetch that right now. But just trust me. Mario Party 2 came out in Japan on this day, in December 17th. Some year. Couldn't tell you which. Man. I'm slacking on my job here. Give me 1 second, trying to get some sounds ready. We're gonna need something for this next one. There we are. Uh-oh. I didn't think I was gonna cry during today's stream, you know? Didn't see it coming.
This is a big deal.
Maybe you know what this means, guys. 22 years ago, the year 2001, Final Fantasy X came out, and it didn't have it listed by region, so I'm assuming it was the North American release. Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X, as some might say. Many are saying.
Peggy 12.
Final Fantasy X. I remember this box art kind of calling to me as a kid. I don't know, something about the sword that he's holding I thought looked really bad. Yes, come on. I mean, look at that sword. Also, his outfit is just awesome. It's awesome. It is amazing. I mean, come on. Like the midriff, this is kind of some peak Final Fantasy design. I mean, it would get even crazier with 10-2, and then maybe 13, and maybe even just crazier, who knows. But this is some like some peak, would anyone ever wear that, but it looks some badass outfits. Come on. And you play these, if you don't play these games for the outfits, what do you play these games for, you know? Thankfully, they have amazing gameplay and full motion videos that were extremely impressive for the time. This was a PlayStation 2, definitely for me like a console killer app, I think. Sort of just let you know that PlayStation 2 was, it could handle some really cool stuff, you know. I mean, they could handle some pretty cool stuff. PS2, and I have to admit, as a Nintendo fanboy, PlayStation 2 was a hell of a system, you know? Props.
They say Seymour went to Macarena Temple.
It's a great game. It's a very heartfelt game. It's a game that I played when I was young, and I think I was too young to... I think I wasn't emotionally available enough to really appreciate what this game was. And I thought it was corny and cheesy. I think some of it was the VO I found at the time to be kind of like, I just wasn't used to it, and it was a lot, you know, and it didn't always... I think in at that time, a lot of the VO, it felt very kind of separate from what I'm seeing on the screen, or it just felt very like, okay, you know, I was having trouble piecing all this together as one thing, as one scene, you know, and not like it felt a little out of place. But over time, I even came to enjoy that more, honestly. But yeah, it's a strange game too. There's a lot of weird, there's a lot of weird editing with the cutscenes. The last time I played it, I was like, what, you know, some of the like screen wipes and like transition screens that they do where it gets, you know, where they'll like fade in and out and stuff. Some of that is very strange and, for lack of a better word, blurry. No music, huh? How about one more to Xanarkin, huh? Please? To Xanarkin, you gonna play? No? Okay. How about we loop you? Okay. Where was I? No, it's a great game. I think at the time, first playthrough, I was enjoying it, but it always felt like something was a little off, you know? And I think it was that I wasn't enjoying it as much as I'd enjoyed the playthrough of 9. So the whole time I was kind of on the back foot a little bit, because things like the storyline surprised me. Blitzball was surprising, you know, the voiceover was just a lot, you know, these scenes. And I feel like I got through the game, but I didn't necessarily take the time to really enjoy it and soak it up and kind of live in that world. So I had to play through, you know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago or something at this point, and I was sold. It was good. It was a good playthrough from the beginning. I really enjoyed it. You know, it's not a perfect game, and it's not my favorite Final Fantasy, but I think some of the deeper themes and some of the sadder stuff, and even just the storyline itself, I was able to follow a little bit better. And yeah, It's a good game. Certainly worth checking out. For a game that is to make it quick, kind of turn-based. I mean, it's turn-based, but like, you know, it basically puts every move in a queue, and certain things can make the queue can jump the queue or lower it, whatever. But for those games that are of that nature, I think this is one of the like smoothest and most polished things that Squaresoft has done for that IMO. The game plays pretty quickly. The gameplay does. It's fun. I loved how as one character is like finishing a move, the other person is starting to like cast theirs or getting ready to run in. Especially after playing Final Fantasy IX, which is just not really optimized. And I don't know what's up with that game, but it can be slow as hell. You hit a button and it takes a long time to see the effect, you know? And a long time between turns, even when all the actions have been selected. 10, it's not like that. Buttery smooth. It's good stuff. So yeah, thank you. Final Fantasy X. Hard to believe, 22 years ago. Happy birthday. Damn. I want to say more,
They say
but
Seymour went to Macarena Temple.
we're going to talk about these games in depth in the future. This is going to be the Parvinator project. We'll get there eventually. Okay? All right. Back to the FF9 music. There we go. I'll just say one more thing about FF10 and move on. But yeah, it's I think also the romance angle of it. I think it's interesting because Final Fantasy had sort of touched on that before, and I do think I was able to appreciate it more when I was a little bit older. Again, I mentioned it sounds cheesy, but I just feel like when I was a kid, some of those scenes, I think I was like, okay, I'm seeing this kind of bad CGI sometimes. I mean, it was cool for the time, but you knew it wasn't real, of course. I think I was just ready to like be like, okay, whatever, you know, this is so emotional, it's so emo, you know. And then of course I get a little bit older. I feel like I'm a little more open to stuff that in the past I would have just thought, oh, that's, you know, that's corny, that's cheesy, and then it hits you right in the heart, you know. I think it also helps understanding the storyline a little bit better. Oh yeah. That game's got some heavy, it has some heavy stuff. So yeah, I won't say too much. I don't want to spoil anything at all, but give it a shot if you like RPGs. It's a great one, and maybe you won't love it the first time through. Maybe you will, but I think it's worth playing. It's part of the gamer canon. It's got to be in there. So yeah, thank you, Final Fantasy X. Moving on, and I don't have a whole lot to say about the PS Vita, honestly. But yeah, the PS Vita, we're celebrating its birthday as well. Where is my there it is. Okay, yep. PlayStation Vita. Did any of you guys have a Vita? I didn't have a PSP or a Vita. But yeah, PlayStation of course had these you know, they had their hand in the handheld game. I think that what's interesting about I'm pulling the release year. 2011. Okay. Wow. I didn't have it in my notes. Yeah, 2011 for the PSP. Not for the PSP, but for the Vita. The only people that I knew who had a Vita or a PSP in my personal circle were also just like really huge Sony heads, and they were really into the like multimedia aspects. You know, that was like when the PSP came out. That was sort of, I think that was part of the wow factor. You can have your MP3s on it, you know, you can have, you know, blah blah blah. So it you know, it had these media storage and playing capabilities, you know, and I think that that was some of what some people got really hung up on, which I didn't really just have a use case for that. In some ways, you know, I always had ways to play my music or something else. So it's some of the stuff that my buddy would always try to sell me on just wasn't my thing. But you know, to each their own. Yeah, PS Vita, hard to believe, came out 12 years ago, 2011. Yeah, sure, it made a lot of people happy. Yeah. I watched an interesting thing earlier today about a small gaming shop in India that's been running it's basically been the same since the 80s, and they talked briefly about the popularity of the PSP in India, and I believe the Vita as well, and so much of that being that, you know, you could pretty easily get to where you could load games into them. Yeah. Which, when you can't buy games officially or those games are way too expensive, you know, gotta do what you gotta do, you know? We salute those gamers who overcame their tough situations, you know, and having to, you know, maybe not always having the means to just, you know, run to the nearest big store and buy a big box store and get a game, you know? So, yeah. And that, folks, no, Titus, sorry. By the way, that it's still difficult for me to get used to saying Titus.
They say Seymour went to Macarena Temple.
Macalania Temple.
Alright?
Alright, guys, that is your good old days for December 17th. Happy birthday, games and console. Let's switch over to some gaming news. Where's my music? Come on. Where are you, Yoshi? There it is. Struggle Bus.
This is a big deal.
Let's talk a little gamer news, guys. This should be fun. Hey, Yoshi, welcome. Speak of the devil.
Donkey.
Let's do a little gamer news. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the idea of crafting. And it's, I don't know, that was my idea for the gamer news when I saw a certain specific piece of news. I'll just get into that and we'll branch out from there. You guys might have seen the headline where Aonuma, longtime dev behind Tears of the Kingdom, he talked a little bit about the idea of some, you know, how it seems to be sometimes a call for a Mario Maker-esque, you know, Zelda game. And he was kind of answering, you know, kind of giving his thoughts on that and creativity and yeah, right. And it just got me thinking about crafting. Exactly, Hanson. We're talking knitting. We're talking sculpture, painting, tannery, tanning, tannery. Tannery is the place you do it, but it's also the process, right? Let me go look that up. No, all right. Yeah, so this one's coming from Polygon. They did an interview with our guy. Here he is. Boom, bada bing. But yeah, let me. I've got too many things pulled up, and it's just getting worse and worse. Go away. All right. So, when we're creating games like when we're creating games like the Tears of the Kingdom, I think it's important that we don't make creativity a requirement. Instead, we put things into the game that encourage people to be creative and give them the opportunity to be creative without forcing them to, Aonuma told Polygon through an interpreter in an in-person interview. So yeah, part of this part of the hubbub is that people have wanted and have talked about wanting a Mario Maker for, you know, a basically a I keep saying Mario Maker, but a Mario Maker-esque version of Zelda. You know, you can possibly create your own dungeons or landscapes or your whole game, whatever it is. And it I don't know. It had me thinking about creativity in games, and I like I actually appreciate what he's saying here. I know that this guy can be controversial amongst Zelda fans, especially those who aren't huge on Breath of the Wild and Tears, but only speaking for myself here, I've never really enjoyed like a level creator kind of thing. I know that I have really enjoyed playing Mario Maker and playing other people's maps and levels, but I've never really been that's not really. I've never really gotten into it. I've never spent much time doing it, and never gotten too cracked out in like level creation or anything like that. Map making, etc., etc. Cartography, a lot of skills I've missed out on. But geez.
This is a big deal.
Thank you.
Doesn't caffeine just make you feel like you're not tired?
But yeah, there was another part, another section as well. Let's see if I can get it pulled up for you. He said, there are people who want the ability to create from scratch, but that's not for everyone. I think everyone delights in the discovery of finding your own way through a game, and that is something we tried to make sure was included in Tears of the Kingdom. There isn't one right way to play. If you're a creative person, you have the ability to go down that path, but that's not what you have to do. You're also able to proceed to the game in many other different ways. Proceed to the game in many other different ways. And so I don't think that it would be a good fit for The Legend of Zelda to necessarily require people to build things from scratch and force them to be creative. So it's kind of interesting here because I in a way, I'll see if I can move this down. Ooh, I'm moving everything else down. I think I'm with our guy here on this, and I'm not remembering his first name. Is it Satoshi? No, that was Tajiri that we learned about earlier. Oh, hey, I'll just be the guy from Home Improvement, you know. Oh, Heidi ho. Good stuff. You need to go bye-bye. I'll say this as someone who started Tears of the Kingdom. It's taken a little break on it. I haven't quite finished it. I am enjoying it. And I do appreciate how it seems like there's multiple ways to get things done. And I was afraid because some of the first things I saw from Tears of the Kingdom were people building these very time and labor and resource heavy contraptions, and I thought that maybe the whole game was going to be that, and that it required you to do anything. You had to do so much, you know, building, crafting, putting items together and fitting them and manipulating them around to, you know. And that's just not always my thing, but I do like the Tears of the Kingdom. I think it hits a good balance with that. But also, in some games, I just feel like the crafting isn't always so necessary, and it is becoming more and more popular. A lot of stuff of, like, you know, forging weapons or items, that kind of stuff. It's been around for a long time. Synthesis or whatever. This concept has been, you know, it's not like it's new. I do feel like it is kind of, I think maybe because of open world games, the ability to mine a lot of resources. Maybe that's part of why you're seeing more of that at this point, but I don't know. Just something worth thinking about. I don't know. What can you do? Speaking of crafting, I do want to give props to the Minecraft community, of which I'm not a part of. Just on the outside looking in, giving them a good salute. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a user on Reddit, goes by Chris DeCal, and maybe they, you know, I don't know, maybe they're elsewhere too, but I found it on Reddit. They built the multiverse in Minecraft, and I'm going to play a video for you guys from this from Crystal. And then let's talk about it. It's insane. Check this out. 1 second. I've played 2 minutes of Minecraft when I went over and hung out with my niece and nephew. And yeah, we did like some kind of multiplayer thing on his Xbox, and that's all I remember. So I know not a whole lot about this series, but this blows my mind. Check this out. These are like worlds they've created, wormholes, interconnected planets. I mean, guys, these Minecraft kids, we leave them alone for like 10 minutes and then they've like recreated the universe. You know? Is this not crazy?
Give me the mushrooms, time to leave.
It's over. It's over. They've built the multiverse in Minecraft. There's no more crafting that can ever happen. Where do you go from that after you've built the multiverse? Dimensions curling into themselves. I mean, check out the beginning just one more time. The music's gonna be messed up, but no, that's not it. Come on, play the right thing. It's not gonna play. That's okay. Forget you. OBS. Jeez.
What's going on, man?
I don't know. I'm trying to put on a good show. Computer doesn't want to let me. Anyway, yeah, it's over with. Come on. I mean, they built the multiverse, right? Where do we go from here? At this point, what are you still, you know, like, is combining like a couple swords, is that really gonna do it for you at this point? You know, taking a couple pieces of coal and combining them with something else, and then bam, you've got some other mineral. I don't know. That leather cuirass, I never knew how to say that word. I don't know, I was thinking about all the crafting I've done in all these games, putting items together and synthesizing and forging, and I'm just thinking that maybe now that these Minecraft folks have, you know, created the multiverse, they have it's over with, right? That's got to be it. Got to be it.
Cheers and booze, I see.
All right, guys.
Zoinks!
That was a good long session, but that's it for your gamer news. Taking you guys into the holiday season. It's only going to be a couple more of these, and then next time I see you guys, it'll be, well, it won't be 2024, but it'll be getting close. But let's see what kind of gamer news we got to close out the year. I'm excited and optimistic.
Zoinks!
All right, guys. Thank you for that. Gamer news is officially over. Maybe we should get back into the game for a bit. You could call it, yeah, I guess at this point, I thought multiverse pretty much covered about the same ground that an omniverse would, binary, but I'm not that versed in the verses, to be honest. Doot 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 doot. Yeah, I don't know either. Oh, man. Hey, thank you guys for hanging out. Happy Sunday. This has been a fun stream. I'm enjoying myself, and I hope you guys are too. I told you it was a lot of games. It was a lot. Is that it for, doot, doot, doot. Uh-oh, we can get a Clefairy. 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 That's the country coming out. I'm gonna get that Clefairy right there.
It's all his fault.
Mama, I want me a Clefairy. Yeah. I think at a certain point it gets so, we're getting so expansive that, yeah, if Omni was bigger than the multiverse, then at that, it's so big that my brain can't comprehend, so the distinction is useless, you know? Oh, we don't want to hit you. We want to catch you. What am I doing? Let's try to catch you. Clefairy is a fairy that's 2 feet tall, 17 pounds. Though rarely seen, it becomes easier to spot for some reason on the night of a full moon. Aren't they supposed to be from the moon or something? It almost looks like they're kind of, you know, throwing up the double birds. You know, sure, they're not, the palm is facing outwards, but Clefairy, man, don't care, dude. They're gonna tell you what's on their mind. Was there anything else up here? Oh, there is. Two exits. Mountain Moon Square, don't litter. What is this? It's an incense burner. I don't know what's going on inside this area. I wonder if this was something that was... It's like a day, you had to come on a specific day. Is that the daycare? No. Oh. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Well, I don't know what that area up there is, but we'll have to come back to that at some point. Maybe we're supposed to be there at a certain day or something. Friday was a fun stream too, and it ended with me getting a second place score on Star Fox 64. So yeah, we did some Mario Kart, or rather Mario Golf 64, and then yeah, got into some Star Fox, and that was fun. I don't think this will be the longest stream. I've got a little bit of work I could probably do this stand to do tonight. There's been a couple of things I've been wanting to finish off. A couple videos I've been working on that I'm close to finishing. I just haven't had the time to really sit down and knock it out, you know? So I'm gonna stream for a little bit longer, and then I'll probably call it. Yeah, we're at the 3-hour mark now. I'm gonna, be a little bit shorter than some days. I don't know if I said 3-hour mark or 3 o'clock mark, but Hello. Sneak up on you.
I take a little grass, a little LSD, but none of that is destructive.
That's where this game belongs, the fucking garbage.
Oh, trying to run away from a trainer battle, jeez. Oh yeah, nice long stream, Binary, awesome. Was that your Zelda 2? I'm guessing you beat it, right? Since I saw your Dark Link video, so you were right there. I'm assuming you got the job done.
Oh!
Pidgeot, huh?
Mamma mia!
I'm gonna finish this battle. I'm getting a little tired, guys. I think I might, I'm gonna go to about 7:30, bottom of this hour, and then, I think I'll wrap it up. Got some work to be done, and, yeah, I want to get a little time to hang, too, with my partner, because, been pretty busy. Went to a concert last night, but other than that, you know, last couple weeks, I've been busier than ever. So has she with work, and, so yeah, be cool to do some winding down tonight, you know? Ooh, crunch, crunch. Yeah, that was a that was a total bin move, you know, using the fairy spell. I hate that happened, you know. Of course, it can be funny to watch, but I know in the moment it's like, wait, what? Come on, you know. So I'm guessing that sets you back quite a bit, or that's yeah, to go from yeah. Seems like that was a really big really held you back. If it you know, if I'm understanding you, I think you're saying that it would normally take you around 3 hours, or that's what it had taken up to that point, but then a lot of extra time happened because of that situation. Is it because you died there or something? Oh, okay, right. I understand. Yeah, that's right. You had mentioned that. Yeah, so all your stats go back to level 1 and everything. Or no, I see what you're saying. The actual dungeon, yeah, or whatever you call them, the palaces. Level 1. Jeez. Yeah, that is quite a setback. Wow. That stinks, man. The magnet train travels at over 340 miles per hour. It goes between Kanto and Johto in almost no time at all. It really makes Johto accessible. For battles, I'd much rather use Pokemon I've been raising, even if they're weaker than some newly caught Pokemon. Do, 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 do. All right, new town. We need to get some Pokeballs. I think I've already been to Cerulean's Cape. Misty's about the only person in town who can beat the trainers at Cerulean's Cape. Welcome, how may I help you? Get some ultras. We need to spend some money. It's okay, we're gonna have a gym battle soonish. I don't think I have many potions. Do do do. I could get some like waters and stuff.
Looks like we've got company.
Hey, welcome in, Raiders. Welcome.
No! Mamma mia!
Come on in. Ah, what's up, guys? Welcome. Do do do.
Challenge is one thing, but why does this game have to fucking trick me? What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Raiders? What's going on? Welcome. What's up, Mayo? Yo yo.
Oh!
What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. I'm getting my Poke Miles in for the day. My Poke Steps. Happy Sunday. What were you guys doing today? Do do do. We're continuing our Poke journey. Let's see. We're at a mere 85 hours. But that does include leaving the game on for hours and then saving it when I finally realized I'd left the game on. But whatever. Also talking. Not talking. Yeah. So, oh, cool. Some Baldur's Gate 3. Nice. Like the quest for celibacy. So we only have 2 more gym badges left, which is cool. Is this one of the ones we have left? No, we've been to Cerulean. Okay, yeah, that's right. So the last one, we got to go to. I think what's left of the Cinnabar Island. Some kind of catastrophic. The volcano blew its top. A bunch of people died.
Oh!
It was some kind of catastrophic natural disaster happened in between these two games. So
Mamma mia!
Or 2 gens. That's funny, man. Yeah, stay alert. You know, stay alert. The bike shop has moved to Goldenrod City in Johto. We got a bike. And we got it from there. Yeah, we had a pretty epic list of games we did for the birthdays today, the game birthdays. A bunch of Final Fantasy and Rockman stuff, which I knew was like, okay, there's some folks on this channel that's like, this is right up their alley. I know this because I streamed those games, and that's where I found those people. Oh yeah. I didn't stream FF, I guess, but I've talked about it. Yeah. I'm afraid I don't think I could. Dude, it's taken me and granted, some of this time is bullshit, like I said, because of just leaving the game on and not saving. And I'm not actively playing. But if it's taken me 85 hours game time, even if we take that down to like 60 to do Pokemon Crystal, Yeah, let's play some like. Yeah, let's play some Saga, you know, or one of those PS1 games that's like, you know, like 100 hours on a quick playthrough or something. I don't know. Trying to think of what would be some of the longest FFs, and it's hard for me to tell. I mean, I also just take my time through those, you know. Saga Frontier. Mayo, that might be, you know, we were talking about patience during the last stream. That might be the one that makes the Parvinator go cuckoo, you know. I might lose my fucking marbles doing a really long RPG, you know. Trying to stick to it. Donkey Kong 64 was its own kind of spiritual journey, you know. But maybe I need to step it up, you know. They get bigger. Yeah, that makes a difference. It seems like it changes itself up enough too to kind of keep, you know, feel fresh since you're doing like scenarios, kind of, I guess, right? Well, what is here other than the bike shop? Nothing. It's locked. It's a crack house now. No, there's no marbles left. Ween has a great song called Happy Colored Marbles. That's a good one. Yeah, and you could I do want to play that at some point, Mayo. Like I don't think you're encouraging it ironically, right? I mean, you know, I do know it would be weird or tough for how I stream, but yeah, I know you do genuinely like it, so hey, maybe you're trying to. Is this like your tips for Reddit or for you know, new Twitch streamers now that you've hit partner? You know, some things you learned along the journey. I remember reading that something about playing really long games.
Mamma mia!
Oh man, I'm just kind of like, my character is really just walking back and forth. There's nothing going on in their head. They're a million miles away. I'm gonna be wrapping somewhat soon, and yeah, maybe we can even raid in somewhere in a bit. I'll check and see if anyone I've got on my list is rolling. But I do think we could start heading south of Pallet Town now. Our team looks fine, so let's do that.
The worst show on television.
Pallet Town. I was gonna ask, like, earlier we talked a little bit about, like, I don't know, that there's... I've kind of read some sentiment that there's, like, you know, more games are doing like crafting and synthesis, and especially, like, you know, when you think about a lot of open world games, just being so resource heavy, so many fucking things you can go and find and mine or whatever. Find them, mine them, wine them and dine them. And yeah, a lot of crafting and synthesis and putting items together and stuff like that. And you know, do you love it? Do you hate it? Me personally, I've never been huge on it. I mean, I enjoyed it in Final Fantasy IX, and 8 was kind of interesting. It just batshit crazy. Like, why do I need some screws and like the things that you would need to put together a weapon or something, you know? It's totally asinine, just it made no sense, but yeah. Yeah, that's what I think. Like, it can be done really well, but then I think some games are really just shoving it in, you know, with no regard to, is it actually fun? Does it make for fun or engaging gameplay? You know, I don't know. But I have to admit, I'm also just not much... It also ties into, you know, what's his name? Aonuma, the, you know, dude that, like, oversees Zelda now. Eiji, is it? Eiji Aonuma? He had talked about how he doesn't really think that a Mario Maker-esque, like, Zelda version of that would, like, not really work, in his opinion. And that some people talk about wanting that, but, like, you know, he would prefer to, like, give people the ability to come up with, to express their creativity and come up with stuff within a game, but it not always be necessary, or the game not police that you have to do it in an actual, you know, specific way, and opening it up more. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that actually makes some sense to me, I think. But then again, I've never been like a map maker. I'm not into, you know, I don't know. I'm just not really into... I've played Mario Maker and I like it. It's really fun, but I don't want to sit there and create Mario maps, you know? And some people have that. Hey, you know, some people have that, and there's two types of people in this world. If I've learned anything, man...
Listen up, morons!
Alright, listen up. If I've learned anything, there's two types of people in this world. Those who make maps in Mario Maker, and those who don't. Alright? And that's just as simple as that.
That is a disgusting act.
Yeah. I think Tears does that, yeah. I agree, and I have to admit, you know, I haven't finished Tears, and I've really only got 10 hours in it or something, maybe less. So you know, pretty early into my journey. But so far, I am happy that it doesn't feel, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but just to say, like, when I was first seeing a preview of the game, and some of the first things that were coming across my feed regarding Tears of the Kingdom, it was like really crazy, intense, and super developed, like, contraptions, and you know, fusing all this stuff together, it taking a lot of time, and it being these very complex engineering feats, you know? And I was worried, like, that you would have to do that, and that's all the game was going to become, pretty much. And I'm happy that it lets you do your lo-fi solutions to the problems too. You know what I mean? You don't have to express that engineering side of the brain. You know, to put it nicely, I suppose. But yeah. No, you know, you can. Yeah. You can do solutions that are way more brute force-esque, or just kind of more. Again, it's barely slapped together, and it ain't pretty, but it works for that puzzle, and it's still very satisfying. And it is admirable that they've created a game that has tears to that, where you tears to it. Come on, cheers to tears, tears for fears. It's cool that they have tiers of, like, that, to the extent to which you have to build those things, and you know, it can be appreciated by someone who's playing the game very stupidly, and then by someone who is engineering their way through the game and making it, you know, after some work and setup, then it's just like, they've got these amazing devices, you know. And they can travel across Hyrule, you know, on a whim. At will. Way to go, not a Neil. I guess people were pointing out that in one of the I think it was a story on Reddit. Yeah, people were pointing out that I guess there's already a Zelda, you know, maker that was part of that Link's Awakening remake that they did a couple years ago. And it was very limited. It was like it was a dungeon maker, you know, and was pretty much just moving those tiles around. And yeah, you might say that's what it is anyway, but you know, it was pretty limited. What is he trying to learn? Agility? Is agility worth a damn? I don't know. Will you be using agility when you're a big dragon boy? I gotta look up what agility is. Agility in Gen 2. Increases the user's speed by 2 stages. Oh, okay. Well, that's nice, but I feel like Not an Eel is pretty fast, right? You're giving up a turn, you know? And then you can move faster. But, yeah. We're saying no. I think we're gonna beat, who's this, Nikki? Excuse me. We're gonna beat Swimmer Nikki, and then we're just gonna save out here in the ocean. You know, just me and our Pokemon, we're just gonna take a little nap out in the ocean. I've got to be careful when I say stuff like that. The Pokemon community is a fun one. It gets a little wild. It's a little wild. Oh no, I didn't mean to do it. This is not the one I wanted. Oh no. It's ice, you idiot. Guess it's water too.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Ugh. Worried about sunburn. Yeah, you've already got quite a tan. Thank you, Swimmer Nikki. You know what? We're gonna get on this little island here, and then we're gonna save. I don't want to come back to a drowned protagonist. All right. Let me do a safety save too. Thanks for the raid, Mayo. Thanks for coming in, man. Sorry, I'm starting to get a little tired, so I think I might raid us out, and then I'll stick around for a bit, and I'm gone. Let's see, who can we raid? I'll find us a raid target first, and then
Yeah,
actually, I actually don't have anyone.
LSD factory that I found. Okay.
Sorry, it's just on the.
I know.
We're on I'm on the Twitch homepage. Mute, please. Thank you. I actually don't. I'm not seeing much. We might just call it. Yeah, it's getting a little late. We might just. I might just call it. Yeah, let's do that. I saw some peeps, but when I checked in just now, it seems like they're rapping. So, yeah, I don't want to bug anybody, and I'm tired too. So yeah, let's call it. This was cool. Thank you guys for chilling. Happy Sunday. Let me take you guys to the schedule, which actually I need to update. Wednesday is going to be my last stream, and for a little bit, I should say. Yeah. going home for Christmas. So gonna spend some time back home. Haven't seen the folks during a holiday in a long time, so this will be cool. Why is it all stroby? Frame rate's all bad. Oh, because Twitch is pulled up. But yeah, so Wednesday we'll stream. I've got Mario Golf up for tomorrow, but I will see if I have time to change to another game. I would like to get some graphics and stuff up, but we have other options too if I can't get that in. So, all right, guys, this was cool. Mayo, thank you for the stream. Thank you guys for hanging out. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And I'm cooked. I'm tired. Let me get up out of here. You guys have a good night. Let me play some sounds for you. I'll see you next time. Adios.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Video game trauma.
The sexually explicit character that looks like Ronald McDonald.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you. When I was tasting you, brother, I found you to be not so bad at all.
Fight off killer turtles and deadly ducks. Mario is an Italian plumber who, under your control, enters the Mushroom Kingdom. They were unable to get their kids a new version of a game called Dragon Quest.
There's secret holes that you go into.
I had to beat off.
Oh, come on, man.
I had to beat off.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
We blew it.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Obviously, you're not a golfer. Nobody calls me Lebowski. You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man. The toilet seat's up, man. Oh, Jesus, what's that smell, man?
We blew it.
Beavis, you wuss.
Do you know the answer?
The future is coming on.
Go! We blew it.
Quit screwing around. Do something.
Kiss my ass.
Christmas in America.